Do you want to finally make 3D games in C++? Do you want to learn OpenGL but no matter what you do, you can't get to link the libraries, or you can't make the triangle render on the screen? Don't worry, I know exactly how to fix your problems because I was in your place many years ago. And I promise that if you follow my advice, you'll get your first triangle very soon. There are 3 big mistakes everyone makes when starting to learn OpenGL, and it's not really your fault, it's just a matter of how most tutorials are structured. But don't worry, we're going to fix them very easily. And after we have the pitfalls covered, I will tell you exactly the roadmap and the tutorials that you need to follow to finally get your first triangle on the screen and then make your first 3D game. Let's go! The first pitfall is the debugging aspect of OpenGL. One reason graphics programming is so hard is that if you get a single line wrong, you just get a black screen and no errors. Good luck fixing that. I started coding while I was around 12 years old, and I wanted so badly to place a pixel on the screen and make my first game that I tried everything. I followed every tutorial, but I couldn't for the life of me link to any graphics library. I even tried all the possible ideas out there with the hope that I will find one with graphics libraries already linked, and it literally took me years to overcome that problem. I eventually got to 16 years old, and I spent that entire summer doing OpenGL tutorials. And while I managed to overcome most difficulties, one small thing stuck with me. Man, if only we could tell OpenGL to report errors to us. But we can't, that's the crazy part. You can literally tell OpenGL to simply report errors for you, and all tutorials either don't show this, or show this old weird version, or just show it the last thing in the tutorial, while it should be the first thing you learn about. Like, imagine coding in C++ and you don't get any compiler error messages. So here is exactly what you have to do. After you manage to link and compile your OpenGL libraries, you just have to copy and paste some lines of code that tell OpenGL to report errors for you. I have everything explained in this video and the source code. So just save it, or just search low-level game dev OpenGL debugging before you start coding, so that you will also have nice error reporting like I do. But debugging to OpenGL is useless if you can't link to libraries in the first place. We have 2 more pitfalls to go, and the next one has to do with learning the basics. Back when I started OpenGL, things seemed weird at first. I followed the tutorials, and I got my first triangle, and I moved on without really understanding all the steps I just went through. It is very important that once you get your first triangle on the screen, you understand very well all the steps that got you there. And to do this, you just have to go through the lessons again until you are sure you understood the basics. And with the free tutorials that I will link at the end of the video, this shouldn't be hard. Now, some people, when they see that they are stuck at this step, they look at multiple tutorials and maybe even choose to pay for an online course, but they are all literally the exact same thing. This is the best OpenGL tutorial that I know of, and it is literally free on YouTube, teaching you all the way to 3D lighting. So that's why I'm not planning to make an OpenGL tutorial. It would just be the same thing. However, I still see beginners struggle with the very basics of OpenGL. So then I thought, what if instead of remaking all the already existing OpenGL tutorials, I put all the effort into covering only the very basics where beginners struggle the most, but make it so good that it's impossible to fail. So if you like my tutorials and you need some extra help, I created 1 hour of exclusive video content just like this one. I made a fail-proof OpenGL for beginners course, and it is very different than all other paid courses out there. And it's more than just the videos. I added quizzes and challenges so that you can recap every lesson, and also at the end, I give you a roadmap of exactly how to continue learning OpenGL with the best free resources that I used. Using my past years of experience, I go into extreme detail and with extreme care to make sure it's impossible for you to fail these first steps. If you struggle with putting your first triangle on the screen, this course is me literally holding your hands through this journey. And after that, you get a lot of free very good resources for you to know exactly where to continue. So I think it has a great value, and it's probably on discount if you watch this video on release. So link in the description if you want to get unstuck and finally make some progress in learning OpenGL. Let's now move to pitfall 3, which is the most nasty one, and that is linking to libraries. I would say that most beginners that learn OpenGL don't know how to link libraries in C++. So they either struggle to follow the tutorial to link to OpenGL, basically wasting their time, because they don't understand anything, or they just fail. And I'm not saying this to insult you or anything. I was there in your place for many years, and I want you to progress faster than I did. It is important to learn linking to libraries, but just following some step-by-step instruction to link to OpenGL libraries isn't really learning, and OpenGL is already hard on its own. Now we also add learning to link to stuff on top. So that's why I made a ton of pre-made repositories that work on any operating system with any IDE. You just download them for free. And that's it, you can start coding OpenGL. I made configurations for OpenGL, for game dev libraries like SFML or Raylib, and I even made a CodeBlocks OpenGL configuration. So link in the description for this video, where I give you the instructions. And when you eventually want to learn how to link to libraries yourself, I have a full CMake tutorial. Now finally, let's look at how to actually start learning OpenGL. Ideally, you should already know how to make a very simple game in C++ using a 2D drawing library before starting OpenGL. Besides the rendering itself, to learn OpenGL, you need to also know how to open a window, handle it, and other things related to this, like delta time. You don't have to do this step now, you can also do it after you make your first triangle, but don't skip it. I will link some tutorials below for whenever you want to do this, one from me and one from another guy on YouTube. Now, as I mentioned in the last pitfall, I recommend you to take one of my ready-made OpenGL setups. And then, here are the 3 tutorials that you need. LearnOpenGL.com is the most known OpenGL tutorial, and it goes into many advanced topics. However, if you like to watch YouTube tutorials, Jamie King has the best OpenGL tutorial. And even if you don't like to watch YouTube tutorials, he has the best explanations for 3D stuff I ever found online. So don't skip his tutorial. I will say though to not use Qt to open the window. Qt is just horrible, never use it. Just use GLFW, like myself and LearnOpenGL.com do. Now, after you place your first triangle on the screen, you need to learn some math to get to 3D. Jamie King already explains things well, but it's extremely important you also watch this tutorial by Tribluman Brown. The first 12 videos are probably enough for now, and don't worry, they are very easy to understand. And if you like learning from physical books, this would be the book to take. Finally, I do C++ and OpenGL in this channel, and I sometimes show very cool OpenGL tricks that you would love. So if this is the start of your OpenGL journey, subscribe to this channel and join my Discord for extra help. Check out my OpenGL course, and good luck in your journey.